Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Solihah binti Azmi, and today I will be presenting on the enhancement of flower induction in Harumanis mango, Mangifera indica with ethephon application during off-season. Ethephon is an ethylene-releasing agent that is commonly used to ripen fruit, but several studies had shown that it can also act as a good plant growth regulator to induce flower and promote vegetative growth of a plant. Based on that, I do feel attracted to take ethephon as an alternative plant growth regulator to be applied on Harumanis tree. Harumanis is one of the mango varieties that can only be planted in high temperature region in order to increase the volume of yield production. It is because during the pre-flowering stage of Harumanis, the temperature should be high with low precipitation as to induce the flowering of the plants. While in Malaysia, there is only one state with the highest temperature, which is Perlis. The Harumanis production in Perlis was highly productive and efficient since the variety began to be planted. However, during 2022, an unexpected heavy rain had occurred during the flowering stage, then causing the flower to turn dark and drop from the panicle before the pollination happens. This situation had caused the total production of Harumanis extremely decrease. As to avoid from the possibility of the unexpected rain to happen again, ethephon was applied during off-season. This study aims to determine the effect of ethephon application on growth performance, physiological characteristic, and the ability to induce the flowering of Harumanis mango. Thereby, the understanding of how ethephon affect the growth of Harumanis can be strengthened and able to act as guidance for the farmers when using this chemical as plant growth regulator. 4 treatments being practiced to 32 trees in the field, where one of the treatment is control. The others are ethephon with 400 ppm, 600 ppm, and 800 ppm. The ethephon being applied as foliar spray until runoff during the morning. 2 weeks after application, data collection on number of leaves, number of buds, length of bud, relative chlorophyll content, stomata density, day to flowering, and number of flower panicles was made once every 2 weeks interval for a total of 14 weeks of application. The application of ethephon significantly affect the number of leaves in Harumanis mango, when ethephon concentration at 400 ppm had shown the best result in number of leaves. However, there is a non-monotonic response for the different level of ethephon concentration, which may be influenced by several factors such as environmental condition, tree's age, and specific physiological response of mango to different concentration of ethephon. The non-monotonic response was created when treatment at 400 ppm and 800 ppm had influenced the number of leaves, but concentration at 600 ppm had shown the lowest value on number of leaves. The value of number of leaves on 600 ppm was believed to be caused by the phytotoxicity symptom of ethephon, such as leaf curling and discoloration, which will lead to leaf wilting and falling. Ethephon application on Harumanis mango had significantly affect the number of buds. The best concentration performed was ethephon at 600 ppm, as it presents the highest value in number of buds among the other treatments along the observation period. The result from this analysis was related to previous study, where the increase of ethephon concentration will lead to the reduction of internode distance by promoting the cell elongation, which attribute to the increase of bud number on a branch. The effect of ethephon application in influencing bud length has no significant difference between control treatment and ethephon application. Nevertheless, application at 400 ppm shows the best result in influencing the bud length when compared with the other treatments. It is because, since the first observation, the value presented was always higher than the control treatment. Based on the result presented by 400 ppm, it may be concluded that ethephon has the ability to influence the length of a bud has referred to past study on sugarcane, stated that ethephon increased the enzyme activity of acid invertase and ATPase in sprouted buds of sugarcane by providing the cell with carbon and energy for underground bud growth. Relative chlorophyll content is an indicator to the growth and health of Harumanis plant. Based on the result, it shows that plant treated with ethephon has no significant effect on relative chlorophyll content when compared to control treatment. However, concentration at 600 ppm had present a slight lower value among the other treatment, which may indicate that the concentration may affect the growth and health of Harumanis by stressing the plant and decreasing the nutritional status. Nevertheless, analysis based on the result says that ethephon application does not influence the relative chlorophyll content of Harumanis leaf, even with different concentration applied. Based on the result obtained from stomata density observation on Harumanis leaves for 14 weeks, generally can be said that ethephon application does not have significant impact on stomata density in Harumanis leaf. The trend shown for all of the treatments are the same, where the highest value of stomata density between the treatment is variable. Nevertheless, the data does not represent which concentration is the best to be applied to Harumanis tree as to influence the stomata density of the leaves. Thus says that ethephon application does not affect the photosynthetic in Harumanis. The result of ethephon application at all seasons on days to flowering for Harumanis mango had indicate that suitable concentration of ethephon to be applied on Harumanis in order to induce flowering is at 800 ppm. It is because the days to flowering of 800 ppm is earlier than 400 ppm. This result had indicate that ethephon application is able to induce the flowering of Harumanis at off-season with higher concentration of ethephon, which is related to the previous study that stated that higher ethephon concentration will affect on higher production of mango flowering. However, the intermediate concentration, which is 600 ppm, did not bear any flower panicle for the duration of 14 weeks of observation. This situation can be related to past study on cucumber, when the value of first flowering day of cucumber at ethephon 400 ppm is lower than application at 300 ppm and 600 ppm. In this case, it may indicate that the plant will be triggered only by the desired concentration, which then create a U-shaped curve. Application of ethephon does have significant effect on the number of panicles. It can be seen on the result presented by 400 ppm and 800 ppm. The best result in inducing the flowering is 800 ppm, where the number of panicles is higher than 400 ppm. 400 ppm present a lower total number of flower panicle because it begins to bear panicle at the last week of observation, while 800 ppm had bear flower since week 8 and remained its panicle until week 10. Flower panicles of 800 ppm cannot get higher due to the drying and detachment of the flower from the branches that caused by the heavy rain during the period. Based on this study, it can be stated that plant treated with ethephon 400 ppm had shown the most positive outcome on vegetative growth, where it influenced the number of leaves and length of bud of Harumanis mango. Meanwhile, for the physiological characteristics of observation, there is no significant effect presented by all of the treatment applied. Thus indicate that ethephon did not influence the physiological characteristic of Harumanis mango. As for the flower induction, ethephon at 800 ppm, which is the highest concentration, had performed the best result in shortening the flowering days of Harumanis and influenced the production of flower panicles. In other words, application of ethephon can result best in vegetative growth and flower induction, but not in physiological characteristic of Harumanis mango. Considering that the effect of ethephon application may vary depends on plant species, time of application, and chemical concentration, thus it can be concluded that the ethephon is able to influence the vegetative growth of Harumanis and induce the flowering, but with suitable concentration and time of application.